to shake the airs alive. Under Friday skies we thrive. Small town roar cracks the night. Underneath these autumn lights, dreams are born and take their flight. Big plays, big hearts, Tennessee calls. Small town legends under the falls. The crisp headlines, but the passion's fire. High school glory, our one desire.
And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This camera angle is weird. Got that fixed. I'm back. I'm giving you your TSSAA Class 3A playoff preview. Working hard to get content out today, and the best thing I can do is do these short little videos per class instead of one giant video trying to go over all of the playoffs at one time. I decided to break it down by class. Fun to be back. I'm glad my recovery's going great from surgery that I had on October 13th. But without further ado, let's bring up these playoff brackets. Let's take a look at Class 3A and see what we got going on over here. And we'll start out in East. What I've done, I broke the playoffs down into two sides. You got the East and then West. That's how they break these playoffs up every year. You got an Eastern Division and a Western Division, right? So let's start out in the East. Some interesting playoff games here, right? So one of the teams that I think is a challenge for the state championship is Gatlinburg-Pittman. You see them up here at the top. They are 10-0. Their first round, they're hosting Kingston. In the same bracket, you got Forest featuring Quincy Mitchell, the Mr. Football nominee from Forest High School. 2,300 yards on the season, rushing the ball, 12th nationally. Really good running team. They finished third in their region, down there in Region 4. In this upper half, you also got Meigs County, who is 9-1. You got the early season surprise, which was Sequatchie County, that started out hot. They lost a couple games along the way. They're hosting Brainerd. Should be a very easy win for Sequatchie County. That would set up a second round matchup, probably with Meigs County. In this upper part, you got, I'm guessing that Forest is going to travel down to Chattanooga Prep and take care of that game. That's likely going to set up a game against Gatlinburg-Pittman in the second round. That'll be fun. We'll talk more about that Sunday if that happens. Down here at the bottom, you got Chattanooga-Tyner. They're hosting Watertown. You got McMinn Central hosting Pigeon Forge. Giles County, here's an interesting one. They have already advanced. Chattanooga Central has forfeited this game. They did not want to travel to Pulaski to play this game. They're sitting at 1-9. I can't say that I blame them. However, I would hope that the TSSAA does not do to Chattanooga Central what they did to Unaka a few years ago. I don't know if you remember in Class 1A, Unaka, back around, I think it was 2015 or 2016, they qualified for the playoffs. They were 0-10 on the season. They were traveling to play the number one team in the state at the time, which was Greenback, and they forfeited the game. They only had 22 players left on their roster. All the players turned in their uniforms. They forfeited the game, and the TSSAA stepped in and punished the school as a whole. They kept them out of competing for state championships in all sports for 2 years. I thought that was inappropriate. Let's hope the TSSAA does not do that to Chattanooga Central this year. But as far as that game, Giles County has already advanced. In this eastern side, I have to say, I think Gatlinburg-Pittman is probably the favorite to come out of the East and make it to the Blue Cross Bowl up in Cookeville. They just have a really, really, really good football team, and I would list them as a favorite in the East. Now let's go over here to the West. It's a no-brainer who the favorite is to come out of the West. That's going to be Martin Westview. They're sitting here at 9-0. Their last game, they handled Covington with ease. That was supposed to be their big challenge of the year. They also went on the road early in the season and handled a 4A school in Marshall County over in Lewisburg, Tennessee. That was a fun game to watch. I was there. Your Mr. Football nominee from Westview, Graham Simpson, he was electric in that game. But there's some really nice stuff going on here. You got Covington. They're probably going to make it to the quarterfinals. We shall see. Fairview. That's a neat little game with Stratford. That's a bracket that Fairview should handle, right? With Stratford, Bolton, Dyersburg. If there were any other team than Fairview to come out of this middle part, it would be Dyersburg. And that would be fun to watch. A region matchup with Covington and Dyersburg. We know Covington handled them early in the season. We shall see how that lines up. I think it's a good possibility you'll see that matchup again. Down here on the bottom half of this bracket, you got Melrose in the same bracket as Waverly. Waverly, what a season they've had. To rebound from the horrendous year they had in 2024, to go 9-1, qualify as in the playoffs, number 2 seed out of Region 6. That's fantastic for that school. I'm not sure if they have enough to beat Memphis Melrose. We shall see. I think Melrose comes out of that. But then you got Melrose probably meeting up with Martin Westview. Martin Westview's probably going to handle that game at home. I don't think there's any question Martin Westview is the class, what everybody considers to be the class of Class 3A. That's going to be an epic matchup. If they can get to the Blue Cross Bowl in Cookeville and line up with the Gatlinburg-Pittman, this could be the end of the close but no cigar run for Martin Westview that they've had for so many years, because they always met up with Alcoa up there in Cookeville. Alcoa is no longer in Class 3A. This will be the first time since 2011 that Class 3A is not going to be won by Alcoa. That's amazing. I'm excited to see who comes out of Class 3A. I think it's going to be Martin Westview. It could be Gatlinburg-Pittman, or it could be one of these other teams, Waverly, Melrose, Covington. Such a wide open door this year. I'll be back on Sunday to talk about these first round results. We'll preview round 2. And based on round 2, I have a concern, because you could end up with a game where a school like Forest from Chapel Hill would have to travel all the way to Gatlinburg. That's over a 4.5-hour drive for a playoff game. I'm not sure that's in the best interest of TSSAA. We'll talk more about that on Sunday. Until then, enjoy the playoff games. Most of these games have been moved to Thursday night because of weather that's going to affect ball games on Friday night. But either way, get out there, support your team, go cheer them on. Hopefully you get some wins along the way, and we'll be back on Sunday to talk about the first round and what the second round is going to look at. Y'all have a great night.